Commissioner Preen,
Here.
Commissioner Martin.
Here.
Let the record show we have a quorum. And so now we will open the floor to citizens' participation. If there's anyone who would like to address the City Commission about an agenda item, please approach the podium. You'll have 3 minutes to speak. This is a monologue, not a dialogue. And so if you have something on your mind or some ideas or some compliments or something you'd like to share with the commission, please feel free to come up. You'll see 3 lights on the podium if this is new for you. It's a 3-minute clock, so at the end of 2 minutes, the yellow light will come on, and at 3 minutes, your red light will come on. When you come up, please state your name and address for the record. Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon. My name is Fanny Hudson, and I live at 699 West Street here in New Smyrna Beach. And I don't know if this is the right time to bring it up or if I should wait until we start looking at the budget. But I'm here. You just have to, I'm so excited to see all these new faces, so just bear with me. I have a question that I'd like to try and get an answer for. And the question is this: do we anticipate in the near future of having activities for kids that are in middle school and high school through our activity department in New Smyrna? Because after doing a personal survey, and working with the kids over the past 25 years, I've noticed that we don't have any activities for them anymore, nowhere here in New Smyrna. We used to have the gym over here, the old gym. We no longer have that. And then we used to have the Babe James. Middle school and high school kids no longer participate in that. So I was just wondering if we would think about that, and also if we do think about it or don't think about it, would you please consider those are our future. Those kids are us, and they need to grow, and in order to grow, they still have to play. But it's better if they play with limits and have somebody to guide them. And we have 3 different communities, 3 different community organizations that would work with the kids, and we used to work with the kids, but we're no longer doing it. So that was a question and an answer, and I'll let him on.
Thank you for your question, ma'am. Typically, we don't answer those questions. The good news for you is that Director Salazar is here, who runs rec services, and he's giving a budget presentation, and so I know he'll find a way to weave that in, and if not, he'll see you right after.
Thank you.
Thank you so
very
much, ma'am. Appreciate your comments. Are there any other? I see Mr. Ramirez.
I play pickleball at the Detweiler Park, and we at the residents of the beachside do not have any dedicated pickleball courts. We have 5 tennis courts with used tennis nets, not pickleball nets, and we have lines on tennis courts. We are requesting that in the future we do get some money for 4 pickleball courts. I spoke to people in engineering, I spoke to architects on the outside. We can fit 4 pickleball courts, take away 1 tennis court on the west end, put in 4 pickleball courts there, and everybody can play and be happy. We had an issue this past year with pickleball players, tennis ball players not getting along, and Dr. Salazar was very nice to have a meeting, and we all addressed the things, and we all got along real well now. We're doing fine, but that court, that park is heavily used every single day. From 7 to at least noon, they're full, whether it's tennis or pickleball. I play from Sunday to Friday. I'm there every day. I see a lot of folks, visitors. I see a lot of residents, but we don't have any dedicated pickleball courts there. We need that for there. I also noticed that on the last, I think it was the 2020 estimate from the leadership department that was put out on Detweiler, it said, find it here. Yeah, Detweiler. The enhancement we have says it was adequate for acoustic condition, and for level of proposed enhancement was minor. So it wasn't on the radar last year, from what I see from this report here. But on Pettis, there wasn't there. Now, it says here to maintain level of proposed enhancement, to maintain less than $50,000, minor improvements, 50 to 100, major improvements, 100 grand. Now, a suggestion for the future, I know we have upper funding for the Glencoe pickleball courts that are gonna get built, $500,000 for those there. I noticed that Pettis Park also needs some help. The courts there are pretty much, the surface area deteriorated. If we can get one company, for example, to do all at once, instead of going out and getting different companies for, say, Pettis and for Detweiler, if the city chooses to, have one company do it all in one process, one budget, one bid. That way you save money on design and engineering, all that kind of, same kind of courts, same measurements, 20 by 40, and that kind of stuff. Thank you.
Thank you, Jess. Appreciate your comments. Is there anyone else for public participation? Seeing none, public participation is closed. We'll move on to the mini budget workshop and start off with Leisure Services. Director Salazar is here, and I believe he has a report. And Rob, that's your cue.
Okay, how's that? Is that good? Okay, thank you, Commission, for the opportunity this evening to present the Leisure Services PowerPoint to you. Quick summary of what this PowerPoint will cover. Within Leisure Services, the administrative and recreational main portion of the Leisure Services budget includes the Babe James Community Center, City Gym, the Brandon Center, Live Oak Cultural, Coronado, the Women's Club, which is under construction, Sports Complex, Marina, and the golf course. Quick overview of some recent departmental accomplishments. This past year in '22, we established a programming calendar for Babe James and all the special events that the city holds. We're working on a master calendar for the department to be able to compile all the activities and events so we can put that out to the citizens. So that's a work in progress, but also we're building to the future to achieve that from the past accomplishment of just compiling everything to get organized. Hosted a variety of special events, 5Ks, just hosted Art Fiesta, painted the interior and exterior of the Brandon Center, transitioned to a new recreation software called RecTrack, which will allow for more seamless web registration on WebTrack. I know that was some feedback from some past events where we were looking for better web sign-up options online, so we now have that going. We also have, just for reference, Brandon Center internal events. We have 230 tickets sold for pre-sales through the web for our next event in March. And also the Marina and Golf Course were moved under the department supervision mid-year last fiscal. FTEs, this is a model just displaying the FTEs in each component of the Leisure Services Department. There was no increase in FTEs from 22 to 23. I would like to potentially have an increase for 24, but that's for later in the slideshow. This is the budget breakdown for the Leisure Services, Administrative and Recreation and Events portion of our budget. So personnel services went up this fiscal year with the increases we implemented across the board to reflect the LIUNA contract agreement, which went to the general employees as well. And the operating budget this fiscal year is 1.6 for your reference.
Rob, not to interrupt, it's
Yes,
a workshop, so it's a little less formal. Would you like questions at the end, or would you like them as we go?
That's at your discretion,
Okay.
Mayor.
Thanks. Just want to make sure it's clear.
If you have questions along the way, feel free to stop me.
Okay, good.
The Brandon Center, everybody knows the Brandon Center and the hot topic of that center. That's the snapshot of the last 3 fiscal years and the budget at the Brandon. That's where that is. Just across the board, all the personnel services budgets went up as a result of the general employee increases that rolled out at the fiscal. Sports complex, we have a snapshot of the budget there for over the last 3 years overview. That's that.
Your previous comment was about there's no headcount increase, but because of the structural and because of the minimum wage increases that the previous commission took, those are the increases in,
Yes, sir.
in personal salary. Okay,
Yes, sir.
thanks.
The same for the marina. There's the snapshot of the marina's last 3 fiscal years. The marina operates as an enterprise fund. That's the lone exclusively enterprise fund that we have. And then the golf course and the Brandon Center are sub-funds of the general fund. Then this is the golf course administrative portion. A snapshot of the last 3 fiscals. And the golf course has 2 budgets. One for the administrative side of the house, and then one for the maintenance side of the house.
Hey, Rob, I'm not an expert at the at running a golf course, but I'm told that our municipal course is a Class A course, certainly by comparison to others in the area. Won't call any by names, and they seem to make a healthy profit at those other places. Do you see a day or a technique where one day we could self-fund the golf course? If so, how?
This past fiscal year, revenue-wise, in fiscal 22, I believe the course was in the black. Obviously, this fiscal year started off a little rough with the hurricanes. So I've been tracking the financials since the start of the fiscal, and we're not far off pace, but that did set us back initially. So to answer your question, yes, I can see one of my goals that I'll address later in the slideshow and present to you is to continue that positive momentum, capitalizing on the reputation that the course has developed as a destination course. Some of the feedback I've received from multiple people who've played the course is the greens, the tee boxes, the lushness of the fairways, the condition of the course overall is top-notch. And for the area, especially for a municipality to have a course like that, that's rare. Most municipalities, their courses don't have those type of course conditions. So Gary and Mike over at the course, they've done an excellent job maintaining the course and keeping that standard in place. We will have some capital items that are coming up that we will need to get for equipment to keep those conditions there, but your assessment is fair and accurate. Speaking of capital, a quick overview of some of the past years, fiscal 21, 22, 23, and then potential needs for fiscal 24 with CIP or equipment. I'll have a slide on capital for each of the entities within the leisure services umbrella. This kind of will just show you what's been asked for previously and some of the potential needs upcoming. So for 24, obviously pickleball with the growing demand and the needs for court expansion or court improvements. I've got Pettis Park and Detweiler Park on the radar for improvements, and Pettis Park needs a resurfacing, which I've been talking with our maintenance operations director, David Ray, about as well. So he worked on that a bit previously, so that's something that's coming up again. So we'll probably be tag teaming that in the future. The Brandon Center, no capital items forecasted currently. Sports complex, we had a few items in need of replacement this fiscal with the John Deere RTV and the Zero Turn, which have been ordered. And then we've got some potential needs for fiscal '24 upcoming. Now, these aren't all necessary to happen this fiscal year, but these are the items that we'll need in the coming years. We also have had past interest from the commission in rolling out an LED light improvement plan at the sports complex. We're currently in discussions with Duke Energy to revisit the plan that was drafted in 2021. It's a phased approach that addresses the different fields at the sports complex in a fiscally responsible manner rather than all at once. In '21, that project would cost about $1.5 million. In today's dollars, I'm currently waiting on that scope back from Duke. So that's not all one bite, but a phased approach, like I said. In the first phase, what we were forecasting initially was for the stadium, the football stadium, and potentially the 3 soccer fields. So that's what Duke is working on figures for me for that.
Rob, would you comment on Duke Energy over our own utility commission? Is there something that Duke offers that our guys do not?
The reason I went with Duke was they previously had worked with our department on composing the initial draft plan that rolled out in '21, so they had the legwork done just to get that expedited, to get pricing and an estimate in place quicker. So, no.
Is it appropriate, and the city manager may know the answer, is it appropriate for us, since we have some specialists that are a part of the city, to get either coaching, counseling from Mr. Buck and his team on how to go about doing this, or competitively price it? Is that silly, or is that something we ought to
No, it's
consider?
not. As a matter of fact, we'll get back with Mr. Bunch either some Wednesday or Thursday.
And just to be clear, that was not out to bid. That was just working on a potential estimate. The competitive pricing would certainly be in order if we chose to move forward with that project.
Yeah, my thought was, you and I are neophytes in the power business. Mr. Bunch
Sure.
can do it in his sleep. Well, let's get his team to help us.
Sure. Golf course capital equipment. You'll see a increasing trend here with requesting more capital items at the course. This fiscal in '23, we've replaced or are replacing 3 pieces of major equipment, including the mower, sprayer, and bunker rake. We're also installing a maintenance building, expansion on site. '24, we have a large request or a large list of items that we're looking at due to an extensive list of aging equipment. And you'll see in this presentation that these pieces of equipment that I bring up are replacements for equipment that have extended past their expected life cycle. So these aren't necessarily new pieces of equipment, but this is equipment we need to continue to maintain to the standard that the mayor brought up to replace the aging equipment. The marina, a few items on here. We are currently in process with Todd Alexander, our CIP manager, to do a dock repair project. We have $284,000 budgeted this fiscal year for that project. We're currently working to review the bids that we received in the solicitation that came in significantly over the $284,000, and that's in process. Some fiscal '23-24 goals. You'll note the first goal on that list is to maintain the revenue generation at the golf course and build off the popularity of the course. Completing the skate park renovation that we've started in this fiscal year, including a new building and possible expansion of the park, which would most likely include components for a street course. That's currently budgeted with $250,000 of ARPA funding and $250,000 of general fund funding, and we plan to pursue an ECHO grant for that project once the ECHO cycle opens up again this upcoming year. Promoting youth programs at the Babe James Community Center, including teen programs, which was brought up at this meeting. I've been working with staff to maximize participation for our camps, Kids Night Out, youth basketball leagues, etc. So if the community has ideas for youth or teen programming, we are certainly all ears, and we want to make sure that the center is welcoming and available to everybody. Continuing to offer the variety of special events that the city has become known for, prioritizing and maintaining the existing facilities appearance, and taking a proactive approach to facility upkeep and aesthetics rather than letting the facilities appearance suffer and then going for the Band-Aid. And then continuing to offer a variety of internal events at the Brandon Center, which we have started the initiative, and we're kicking that off and moving forward as well. This is just a snapshot of some forecasted capital equipment that we will potentially be asking for, including the LED lights phased, and those are estimates just based off what I had on hand from 2021 from the proposal that Duke put together. And this is the golf course again with the capital for this fiscal, or this upcoming fiscal, and some potential replacement items for 24-25. And then you'll see the marina with the dock repairs, and we've discussed restroom renovations, so I want to continue to have that on the radar as well. That's the scope. This is the scope of the sports complex phase lighting project. Like I said, it was $1.5 million proposed from Duke in 21 when this original proposal was put together. These are the 21 numbers on this slideshow, but this is just a reference point. Obviously, prices will go up in today's with today's dollar. Org chart. This is a snapshot of where we are today with leisure services. Sports complex, Brandon Center Marina, Babe James, golf. I have a phased approach to meet the needs of the growing community here in NSB. Last year, we were able to get an additional athletics manager, which has been a coup for the department, and thank you to the commission for approving that. That's been a huge help. We will need some additional reinforcements down the line. Phase one of this plan calls for a recreation manager. You'll see in the light blue. That's needed to continue to grow the department. You know, we're growing, the city's growing, the department's growing, we're being asked for more and more. And these positions will help continue to meet the needs of the citizens. Phase two calls for a recreation leader at the city gym and Live Oak, and 2 additional equipment operators at the sports complex. And there's dollar amounts attached to each of these positions as well, based off the salaries and benefits package that would be needed. You'll see those over in the green on the left-hand side.
Rob, are those numbers competitive? Can we get quality folks at that rate?
Yes, sir. From my experience and what I would say would be appropriate with the job market, the recent salary increase, wage increase and salary study that HR put out this past fiscal year, rolling into this fiscal year, has brought our salaries up to the upper half of the market in competing with other municipalities. The Brandon Center, as you guys know, the Brandon Center's business is continuing to increase. This is a phase 3 position in adding an administrative specialist to the center. This position was actually at the center in fiscal 21, and it was moved to Leisure Services Administration, and at the time it was moved to Live Oak to operate the gym and the cultural center during COVID. And now coming out of the pandemic, picking up steam, the position is needed again at the Brannan. You'll see that in the navy on the left middle. Finally, the last phase is for an athletics coordinator and potential part-time leader at the skate park. Moving forward with our plans to make the skate park with a new building and expanded course, these positions would offer potential growth in programming and events at the skate park, and that's the plan. Phase 4, skate park on the bottom in purple. Obviously, these positions are not being asked for all at once, and there's not a specific order that will be requested, but those are just the initiatives that the department is working towards overall. That concludes my slideshow.
Any questioners for me, the commissioners, for Rob, before we have our own conversation?
Rob, thanks a lot. The
Yes, sir.
couple of comments and questions. Does Detweiler have lights for nighttime?
Yes.
Okay. Are those available where you turn them on? Kind of just someone playing tennis or pickleball can turn them on themselves. It's on a timer. Okay, great. So I want to agree with. I think we need to. When I go out and I look at who's playing pickleball and how many people are playing tennis, you know, I think that the demand for pickleball is outweighing the demand for the tennis courts. I don't want to get rid of the tennis courts. I don't want to upset the apple cart that's already turning over. However, I do agree that we need to do something at Detweiler to get a true pickleball court, or most important, the lines. And I'm glad that it has some lights. Speaking of lights, another possible place for some lights would be Live Oak. It's you know, 3 small courts. It shouldn't be a big deal. I think most of the infrastructure is already there. You know, you'd have to hook up to an existing light somewhere on property, which shouldn't be too far away. So I'd like to have you guys take a look at how much that would cost. People from New Smyrna go to Port Orange to play pickleball at night. It's a little embarrassing. Duke Energy, you know, it was interesting.